Hey y'all, Carolina Tony here. Today the road brings me to Cross Keys, South Carolina, and I am in Union County. And we are here for the flight of Jefferson Davis. So I understand Jefferson Davis will be making his presence known here today, as well as there are some Confederate soldiers out and about, and we are going to explore the camps and look around and just see what's here. And we'll get started right after the station identification. This is the Cross Keys house on April 30th, 1865. During the retreat from Richmond, Virginia, Jefferson Davis passed through Cross Keys, South Carolina, accompanied by the Confederate cabinet and his military escort of 5 brigades. Miss Mary Whitmire Davis, who owned the Cross Keys house at that time, afterwards related to her descendants the story of the President Davis's luncheon here at the house. Here on the outside of the house, I was talking about the Cross Keys up at the very top. This old coach, Victorian style coupe from 1890. Good. Well, here is a log cabin, and it's all set up for the period. Long handles hanging from a peg. I hadn't even planned on coming here. I didn't even know what was going on. But en route to one place, I came by this place, and I have to say I was pleasantly surprised. In the 1800s, this is how regular folks lived, contrary to the popular belief that all Southerners lived in big plantation houses. That is so far from being incorrect. This here is where a fairly well-to-do regular human being would live. They cooked their own food over open hearth. Here is the tool crib shed. And it's a pretty neat little museum type thing, as all the tools are labeled as to what they are. Looks like some new recruits being trained.
It's going to happen. Don't worry about it.
These are tools of the embalming trade of 1860s.
Oh, really?
Yes. This is the gravity ball. It works on the principle for every foot above the body is a pound of pressure. It takes a minimum of 5 pounds of pressure to preserve a dead person. The gravity system was used in 1695 by Dr. Raymond Rahish, first recorded arterial embalmer. The gravity system is still being used in some funeral homes in 2023. These tools are being used in all funeral homes in 2023. The only thing that's changed in embalming in the last 300 plus years are the chemicals that go into people. There was no chemical company selling embalming fluid until 1888 when Dodge started selling formaldehyde. Formaldehyde was invented after the Civil War.
Okay.
I'll go over the chemicals here real soon. It's arterial embalming. Either use carotid artery in the neck or thumb on the leg. I like using the carotid artery in the neck. You simply make a incision in the neck, pull the artery up, put a little notch in the carotid artery. Then you take a flow tube, hook it on your Hobson's gravity ball, stick that in the carotid artery. Now beside the carotid artery is the jugular vein. I pull that jugular vein up, I cut that jugular vein off completely. Reason being, I want to be able to push all the blood out of the body. When I get the embalming fluid to come out on both sides, I cut the jugular vein off, you're done. Very easy to know when you're done. Now during the Civil War, if the doctors have 4 or 5 to do, Sounds like it hook them all up at one time and make a pile of money. No, they could not do that. Morticians in 2023 still cannot do that.
Let's go in the blacksmith shed.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good
Enjoying your day so far?
so far.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Cootering up mean?
Getting dressed.
Got it. Does that mean I'm
We are in the Confederate camp. And this fella here, this is not the devil. It is not Satan. Hold on, let me get that. Yeah. Look. That is so cool.
Cannonball, huh? Scalp him. Actually, you have longer hair.
This is a Cherokee Scout.
That's the case. He's sizing up.
There is General Davis. There's President Davis. Yeah, he's waving at us. He's walking by. The gentleman next to him is the secretary.
What a ride! Who you turning it over to?
The owner's at my house.
Oh,
I'm just an imaginary person.
okay. Well, hello, sir. How we doing? What can we do for you? Well, I don't know. Maybe you wanna. It's kind of time to eat, isn't it? About lunchtime.
What the ladies got prepared, we're more than welcome to share with you.
Well, thank you.
Come on in.
All right.
May not be much.
President Davis, when he arrived here in 1865 in April, he had between 2,500 and 3,000 people with him.
Good.
The state pays them. This is ours, just don't blow my mind. Right. The state pays them, and I got a guy that's state owns. I didn't know about it. I figured out somebody that the least stone in my body.
Right.
That's like about.
State till 7 years later, so the type of school that I went to when I was 5, my sister Mary walked with me, I had 5 sisters, to a one-room schoolhouse. But by the age of 8, my father says, I want my son to be educated, so he sent me. Do you think I walked all to Kentucky by myself? No. Major Hines, who served with a guy named Andrew Jackson. In fact, on the way there to Kentucky, we stopped to see Andrew Jackson. Sometimes Rachel, that's his mother, that's his wife, would cover my ears when Andrew would be talking once in a while. But I went to school for 2 years. It was a Catholic school and we were Baptist. That's about as Protestant as you can get. So I thought as an 8-year-old, should I become a Catholic? I didn't know. You know, and I asked a priest and they said, no, you don't have to become a Catholic. But don't take this the wrong way, but I thought, well, they're Christian too. They believe in God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. You know, when you're young, you're trying to figure out what religion is and why people do what they do. And I was very inquisitive. In fact, we always had to have one candle burning. And the Earl boys, since I was the youngest, tried to talk me in, and they did. They were successful in getting me to blow the light out. I did. And then all of a sudden the fruit started flying. I got in trouble. And I couldn't tell a lie. Now I know you say, well, that sounds like George Washington. I grew up loving George Washington, except Parson Weems. You ever heard of Parson Weems? Now that wasn't his real name, it was Mason Weems. He was a parson. And he exaggerated stories about Washington. Now, if you know anything about the Rappahannock, it's close to Fredericksburg, try to toss a coin across that, it's not going to go across. I knew right then and there that Mason Weems must have been lying. I returned home, went to Wilkinson Academy, and at that point my father said, well, I came home and I was upset with the teacher. The teacher was trying to make me memorize things I didn't think I needed to learn. Do you ever have a teacher do that? Try to teach you something you don't think you.
All right, well that is going to do it for our trip to Cross Keys near Union, South Carolina. I hope you have enjoyed our visit here and getting to meet President Jefferson Davis. I know I did. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a big old thumbs up. Be sure to share with your family and friends. But until next time, y'all have a good day.